What is going on, guys? Quack Halfling here, and today we are going to take a look at the MasterPiece Bumblebee from Hasbro. Now, MasterPiece Bumblebee was a Comic-Con exclusive from San Diego. They did put him on the website, though, the day after he was first put out on their booth, and I was able to order him. However, if you would like to order him now from Toys R Us, he is no longer in stock, unfortunately, for you guys that still want him. But I'm sure you can find him on eBay for taking a look at the box. We can see that up here we have the official Toys R Us sticker. We have a nice picture of Bumblebee next to exo-suit Spike, and then Bumblebee in his Volkswagen mode. He's the MP08, the American series. Notice that there's a mistransformation on him. This crotch flap is actually supposed to be tucked into his chest, so that's really funny, honestly. On the side, we have some, like a bio, sorta. If you would like to read that, you can't pause it because my flash is being annoying. And wait, you might be able to read it. If you can, pause the video if you want to really read it that bad. But alright, on the back, we have some more pictures of Bumblebee and Exospike. Some warning labels, pretty cool. I love the Japanese writing on this. Super cool. It makes it feel so much more awesome. And also on the side here, we have a big Autobot symbol going around it. This cover piece right here does come off if you want it to, and underneath it just says Bumblebee MasterPiece, some Japanese writing. So that's awesome. That is pop out. So is this. But yeah, this is awesome, and let's check them out of the box. Alright guys, so inside the box you will get some instructions, 2 driver's seat mirrors, and also this is what Bumblebee and Spike come in. Now, unfortunately, I think they could have done something way cooler with this. Some background art or something. But I'm just happy I could have gotten him. Looks like we have his blaster, Spike, and Exo robot form. I don't know what you call that. Bumblebee actually came with a battle mask, which is really cool. A spare tire, and then here we have Bumblebee himself. Looking pretty good. Alright, let's get them all out of that. Alright guys, so let's go over some of the smaller items that this set came with. First off, we're going to check out the battle mask. Let's see if that'll focus. Well, honestly, it looks exactly like the face he already has on. It's impossible to tell, but he does have a little bit of a smirk going on. Which, I'm probably going to use this because, Bumblebee should be happy. But personally, I would have rather had something like a Jurassic change, like him screaming or something, but it's almost impossible to tell on camera, though, the difference. It's still pretty cool that they included this. The next thing we're going to look at is the extra tire he came with, and this actually turned out pretty well. I don't remember if he had a spare tire in the show. Someone in the comments, please tell me if he did. So I don't know if I'm going to display him with this on or not, but it looks pretty sweet. Here we have his gun, and I love this. I like the black handle, and this blue looks amazing. Honestly, this is one of the best Transformers guns I've ever seen. It's amazing. I think everyone will love this. Next, we have the instructions for Bumblebee, and on the other side, it's Spike. But, these are great and all, but personally, I feel that the Takara issue of the instructions were way cooler, as they had cool pictures from the show in them. And then last but not least, we have the 2 driver's side mirrors. Now, this is pretty cool that they included this if you want to display them in vehicle mode. You just pop them out pretty easily. But now, let's get on to some of the main figures that were included in this set. Alright guys, so first off we're going to take a look at Spike Wiki in his exo-suit. Now, honestly, I know a lot of people weren't a big fan of this, but me personally, I think, well, hey, they included it at least. I mean, they didn't have to, and it's pretty cool that we get a version of him like this. He does have pretty loose joints, and he does look kind of strange, but, I guess this is how he looked in the movie, though. The legs actually look really cool in my opinion. The arms are okay with little hands printed right there. The face, unfortunately, has no detail whatsoever. You can remove the helmet. So the face is kind of a bummer, and that's honestly the one gripe I have about it. Otherwise, I think he's pretty sweet. He has some articulation. You can move his arms quite a lot, and I think his head does not turn, though, unfortunately. Also, if you look down, you can see his uniform, too. It's very hard to see, but you can. Yep, there we go. So that's pretty cool that they even added that detail. But all in all, I think he was a pretty good figure. Now, let's check him out in excuse me, in vehicle mode. Alright guys, here we have Spike in his rover mode. This is pretty cool. You know, you got some spinning wheels. You can roll around. You can actually bend his head so he's looking forward too, which is pretty awesome. Honestly, transforming him is a pain. I mean, technically he's a pretty simplistic character. And, you know, it's only a few steps. But since his joints are so loose, every time you try to bend it, it would pop off. And that was very annoying. And honestly, once I get him back in his robot mode, I'm going to keep him that way for display purposes. But this is pretty cool though still. I'm happy they could make him transform. It's pretty fun actually. So now let's get on to the main attraction. Alright guys, now time for the main attraction, Bumblebee. Now I just gotta say, I was amazed as soon as I opened this box. It's just so awesome how well this recreates the cartoon character. From the headlights, the tail lights look amazing. They're like a translucent. There's the Autobot symbol is amazingly painted on. There's a light blue tint on the windows. I mean, this is awesome. It does have plastic tires, and that's one of my only gripes. Personally, I've always been a fan of the rubber tires, even though I've seen people complain about them cracking, which that's never happened to any of my Transformers, so I don't know what you're doing. There is a license plate piece here. I wish they could have printed on, like, a number or something. But this is actually also where you connect the extra tire. The way you connect the tires, you remove the license plate and slide it up in here for storage. Then you can just take this peg and put it where the license plate was. So, you know, that looks pretty cool. And once again, I don't remember if this is how he was interpreted in the show. But you know what, that's pretty sweet though. And you can store the extra tire too. There's a little spot down here where you can peg it in, and it just stays right there. So, you know, if you want to keep them like that, that's pretty sweet. And if you want, you can place one of the driver's side mirror onto the car. It just sticks into a little hole. And honestly, that looks pretty dang awesome. And no, you can't put the other one on the other side. There is a metal piece blocking it. And I do believe that's because this version of the Volkswagen actually only had one driver's mirror. So, you know, that looks pretty sweet. But now, let's get into the robot mode. Something else I wanted to mention was that they actually have the Volkswagen official logo on here. I don't know, let's see if I can focus it in. There we go, check that out. Now that's awesome. They also have it on the tires as well. And here we have Bumblebee in his robot mode. And let me say, guys, my breath was taken away as soon as I got him into his robot mode. It was actually pretty simple, honestly. I've always kind of thought that it was weird how the mirror sticks out there, but it's not terrible. Something they got great was the skinny arms and the skinny legs. I noticed in a lot of Bumblebees there's always like bulk hanging off everything, but this is just so amazing how they did this. The backpack is very compressed to his body. The head sculpt is also super awesome. Let's focus in on that. Look at that. So cartoon accurate there. And it also has an Autobot logo that folds out here. This just flops around to do the yellow of the car roof. But in robot mode, you basically just flop it back around. Whoops, having some trouble doing this. Alright, and boom, you got that awesome Autobot logo. And there's no stickers. And me personally, I'm not a fan of stickers. So I love how everything is painted and sculpted on. Now, in robot mode, you can also attach the extra tire if you want to. I'm not going to do it right now. But it just goes in the same way it did before, and it just kind of hangs out back here. So, you know, that's still cool if you want to store that on him, which I might do later. Gun-wise, basically, the hands are very simple on him. Unlike the other MasterPieces, his hands don't open, which his hands are still very detailed with fingers. It's impossible to see on the camera. Wait, there you go. But basically his gun just sort of slides into his hand like so, and boom. I mean, that's just awesome. And the next detail we're going to get into is his battle mask. Now, removing his standard face is simple. You just take your fingernail in between here, and you pull it off like so. Alright guys, I don't know what was my problem a second ago, but here we go, I pulled it off. Inside is just some pegs, but basically to insert the next mask, make sure this is the right one. Basically you just place it, and it just pops into place, like so. Yeah, that's awesome, and very simple to do. So yeah guys, I felt that this was a great purchase, and I totally recommend that you try to find him. And you know, if you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all here next time.